Les Kevin, Maertens, UTEC IT. Here we go. Milestone moment, Les.
Uh-oh, what the heck?
So, I don't want to do this all the time, but we did get some mail, and it did say, Dear Les and Kevin, or Dear Les Kevin Maertens,
Yep.
we listen to your show all the time. We're advocates of it. We love it, and we think it's great.
It's awesome. Is this fan mail?
So So we've hit double digits. We've gone from 8 subscribers to 10, thanks to these 2 young girls in Chicago. But it goes on to say we love your show, and you're doing a very good job. Big fans, all the best.
Wow.
Sadie.
Okay.
And Zoe Santo in Chicago,
awesome.
Illinois.
Wow.
7th and 4th grade, respectively. Now, this letter struck me for 2 reasons. First, they went on to say, P.S.
Yeah.
My mom thinks Les is hot and sexy. She's crushing for him. So that was concerning.
That's concerning.
The second part was, where are their parents? Why would they let them listen to our stupid show? There needs to be some. When they said Chicago's out of control, I think this is proof that Chicago's out of control.
This is our first fan letter for the podcast.
Yeah, so thank you, Zoe and Sadie, and on with the show.
What's interesting about the fan letter concept is that in our business, in our company, UTEC, we do get a lot of fan letters. And the fan letters are typically built around the concept of our customer experience, customer service. And that doesn't happen by accident. It's driven by a lot of people in our company, but on today's show, we have 2 very important components of our company, Tim and Jason. So Tim manages and oversees our help desk. So those are like the first point of contact when people call in. And Jason oversees all of our setup and delivery. And he's usually the first point of contact often when we come out to meet the client for delivery. So both you guys are extraordinarily important to.
Well, U of M has a football coach that's a jackhammer. We have Jason, and he's our Swiss Army knife. Right?
Yeah,
when you talk about he does
utility
everything.
Player.
Yeah, he does absolutely everything.
I've seen him on the help desk. He's phenomenal on the help desk. Seen him out doing a lot. So why don't you guys do a little brief intro? Who you are, how long you've been in the company, and stuff like that. We can chat. So Tim, start us off.
All right. So my name is Tim Marusca. Been with the company about 6 years. It'll be this week, the February 6th, will be 6 years.
Wow.
Going strong.
Going strong.
With you guys. This is my first job out of college. I went to Washtenaw, then I went to Eastern, got my 2 degrees. I've learned a lot coming here. Yeah. Kevin's been a good coach. All the management's been a good coach for me.
I'll be honest, Tim. I'm a terrible coach, but we've been really good at keeping me away from you, right? You got Les, Dan, Tom, Aaron.
Yep. Is there a raise coming here? Is that what you're...
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I was into technology, right? Taking
awesome.
things apart, fixing it. My parents are from Europe, so they came with nothing, just clothes on their back, no English. Mm-hmm. So I learned, how to work the TV, VCR. If VCR doesn't work, I'll take it apart, put it back together, make it work.
Just curious, how many surveys have been? So just for everybody, what we do is anytime somebody has interaction with our organization, they get surveyed. How many have you had?
So my score is about 5. Well, it's the average about the 5 points, right?
Yeah.
So my score is about 580 right now with all the customers. About 20, 40 surveys came back.
Yeah. So I think I saw on the number you're averaging about 4.9.
Yep.
Out of a scale of 5.
Yep.
And total surveys though over the years, it's over 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 540 or something of that nature. So phenomenal.
Yep.
Right? Phenomenal and consistent. And every time one of our clients have an interaction with Jason, they also get surveyed. Did you know that?
I did not, actually.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But yeah, anytime they interact with you, or for any of our technicians, as a matter of fact, they get surveyed. So tell us a little bit, about you.
My name is Jason Maertens. I've been with the company 8.5 years now. I met Kevin, I think, 10.5 years. I was working at AT&T. Took care of this guy on multiple occasions. And he finally pulled me to the dark side. So, I mean, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm in front of customers 4 out of 5 days a week, pretty much.
Wow.
Just making sure that they're set up for success. I think that's the biggest thing that I do is making sure their workflow is consistent and improving when we're on site.
That's awesome.
I think the secret to our success from a service standpoint is that we do have people like Tim and Jason here. Yeah. And I want to point out that they're young kids, right? Mm-hmm. And both of them could have done other things, but they've been patient and they've worked with us to find what they like, what they're good at, and finding that role. And they've been patient in that role and learning, because we just had Grace on doing a podcast a while ago, talking about young people and the anxiety and looking for jobs and jumping around, and the grass is always greener. But these two are a testament that they bought into a concept. They bought into, not only do I want to deliver great customer service, I want to get better myself.
Right.
And they're, many times they could have left, and they didn't. They've hung in there. They've continued to grow. They've continued to add to their tool belt, right? Yeah.
Skills.
And take classes and get better and do different stuff. And just a great representation of our company. Yeah.
So I'm going to nerd out a little bit, and I'm going to talk about a thing. So you got to excuse me. And that's our company's Net Promoter Score. And I'm going to tie this back in. In 2003, Harvard Business Review published an article on a concept called the Net Promoter Score. And by roughly 2005, it became a global standard. And here's it in a nutshell. A third-party company has to be licensed, and they take care of surveying customers, and they calculate a Net Promoter Score. That way, the company or the organization can't, modify the numbers or play shell games with it. So our Net Promoter Score in our industry, we're roughly 89 right now for a Net Promoter Score. And that is unheard of. The highest level of our competition in this state right now is a 71. So it's a clear differentiator. It can't be argued. It's a global standard with literally thousands of companies that use it. And you two guys are really, the reason for that kind of a score. And it really is phenomenal. And what it does is it takes this concept or this fuzzy idea of taking care of the customer, and it quantifies it into an unarguable data point. And it's truly phenomenal. That's why you don't know it, but yeah, we survey them when you go out there and see them. Every service call, we survey them. Goes to a third-party company, and they do the analysis, and then they report back.
And that's important because the sales guys always think it's about them, right? We're egomaniacs, right? Oh, the customer likes me and all that. But we'll sell something to them, but they're really, after that sale, you're the first point of contact in most cases. Or your team, somebody from your team, Jason, is out there to make that first impression. What goes through your mind? What do you think of as you get there to the customer site, whether it be delivering equipment or setting up the equipment from a technology standpoint?
I think for us, in the service department, we really strive on keeping that customer up and running, getting their workflow easier. I mean, at the end of the day, you do the same thing over and over again when you go into work, and it's how productive you can be. So if it's simplifying the copier to a point where it's a 5-second interaction up there instead of a 10. I mean, they're more productive on their side. So that's really it for me.
That's awesome.
Well, you said it right there. You're taking the complex and simplifying it, right? And not that the copiers are complex, but how do I make sure that prints, to my from my computer? How do I make sure I can scan back to my email? Is it going to the right folders? Things like that you work with, and you take your time. And again, we're all in a rush, right? Put the copier, connect it, make it work. But we don't want to learn how to use it. But you have a way of just disarming them. Hey, come here, let me show you. Let me make your life easier. Let me make you more productive. That you connect with people. And I'm always amazed at that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can save, a couple minutes a day doing a task you do every day, that
it adds
you
up.
can be doing something else that, it's more effective, right? So it's
Well,
more
I
efficient.
was fishing there. I was going to expect you to use your standard line you always tell me, Jason, but you always say, look, if we can show them how to do it and make it easier, then we don't have to come back and fix it, right?
Yep.
So training is a big part of what we want to do from a customer experience. And if we make it so they understand it, it's not as intimidating. You don't get frustrated. You don't kick it, slam it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like that kind of treatment to the copiers and service. So
Yeah, you take it personal, don't you?
a little bit. I mean that's it. It's pride in what you do, right? So I'd rather take 10 minutes during a delivery and train that group of users to be successful with it. I mean, I'll take a phone call any day and walk you through something, but
Right.
it's so much more. I feel like it's so much more accomplished if you can do it on your own. So getting them to that point where they don't have to rely on us is always a goal.
Yeah,
So,
so much of technology that people invest in, they never, really take advantage of it all.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure they know every little component in there. So
Right.
so they're using it all. So
It's spectacular.
And now, Tim, you have some different challenges in a way. Jason got some advantages, right? Or he'll say disadvantages because he's out there in front of the customer sometimes, right?
Yep.
So that can be good and bad, right?
Right.
But you've got to do the same thing he's doing every day, but you've got to do it most of the time over the phone. How's that different, or is it different as you reach those expectations?
In some aspects, it's different, right? Because you're on the phone, you can't see what they see right away, right? So you can't really say, okay, point them out on the screen until I get, walk them through how we get our remote session cleared and walk them through that. And then sometimes there's trouble with that. And then we just kink out the kinks to get them. And then we just show them, as we're in front of their computer, okay, this is what we do. Show me what you're doing that's causing the issue, right? So we're kind of storytelling, having them storytell us what steps they take. And then
There's
that
also
kinda helps us.
expectation, though. You think about it, Jason, you're coming in with something shiny and new, and they're excited, right? When they're calling Tim, they got a problem, right?
Right.
So or they, one of the things that fascinates me is that, looking at the data points, 20 to 30% of the calls coming in, you're able to rectify right there at the help desk.
Yeah. If it's an error code, if it's a quick.
Yeah, and I want to be clear on that. So people who are calling in with an issue on a piece of equipment, right, to be able to resolve without having to physically send a technician out, that is a great sign of customer service. I think that's going the extra mile. It's fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, sometimes customers, well, I'm paying you. I got a service contract.
Right.
If we take 5 minutes, we can have them up and running versus waiting 2 hours, or
Yeah,
hour and 30 minutes
exactly.
till we get out there. You guys have been very good about communicating that with the customer and setting those expectations, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, with the tools we have, right, we can view the copier screen from our desk. So it's like we are in front of it, and they can point buttons, and we can show them, the steps to take.
Yeah.
Of copying, scanning, what issues they're getting for that, or any error codes that we can cancel out.
Wasn't too long ago you dispatch somebody and they'd have to roll out a piece of carpet out in front of the machine and camp out for 3-4 hours, taking it apart, fixing it.
how long have you been in the business?
Long time. Yeah.
Well,
Before you were born.
we've been doing it a long time, right? And we've tried to break down, and you guys have adapted to it. It's a device. It's not a copy, because we've all been in, let's remember the old days. Well, I just fix copies.
Yeah, right.
And these guys, well, I just work on the internet. But no, they're all together. It's a device that hangs on somebody's network, and they are both important. They're all important. We got to give the same attention and the same urgency whenever there's a problem. But you guys attack it that way, and you don't build walls like that.
Right. It's a supported device on the network.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we in service do a great job with working with IT, and I think that cross training, right? So we're learning from them, and they're learning from us, and it simplifies. I mean, it simplified my delivery abilities just with network connectivity and all that, and I know they've been rock stars fixing stuff over the phone. So,
and our clients are responding. It's what they're asking for. And I right now, the period of technology, there's such a convergence, in all of our lives with the different pieces of technology. And I'm excited that we're doing the same thing from a customer delivery perspective.
Yep.
So let's ask something a little bit fun. What's the craziest help desk call you've ever had? I mean, something where you just had to scratch your head and said, "What the heck?"
That's a tough one. There's been quite a few of them, right, for the 6 years I've been here.
Well, we got to take Joe Green out of our company
Yeah,
away from that, okay? So it's got to be some other than a Joe Green story.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
I'll go to Jason.
We don't want to incriminate anybody.
Yeah.
You're a smart guy right there. See how smart he is? He didn't fall for that, Les. He was answered that great.
What's the craziest situation you've ever found yourself in?
Oh, I've had some fun, exciting deliveries. Let me tell you.
Let's hear them.
I think one that stands out is we've put a copier on a forklift and lifted it up.
Is OSHA present at the time?
We didn't do that. We went on a watch and then
we watched. Yeah, we
to
watched.
get to the third floor. We might have.
But yeah, I mean, stairs are always a challenge, but we've got the right tools. I mean,
I want to go back to the forklift. All right. Was it successfully deployed?
It was. I mean, it was, in a factory setting. So we just got it up there, and a couple guys off.
Do what you got to do.
Yep. Pallet went right onto the floor, and we handled
Perfect.
it. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate the fact you're both very proactive. You have the technical skills, but you also have the soft skills to communicate with customers. And you can show empathy if they're struggling or having problems, and it's hard. I mean, it's easy for us sometimes. You're fixing the stuff, this. It's just like easy stuff, like password resets. It's easy stuff. But for that user on the other end, that may be a big deal for them, and you don't know what's transpired if they had a tough day driving in. Who cut them off. Who they had to park in the back of the lot and it was raining and they run in. There's all kinds of stuff like that. But you guys take it. They make it easy, right? You dumb it down and put your arm around them and say, we'll get through this together, right?
Yeah, what I like to do, if someone calls in, I kind of don't get, I'm professional, right? So I want to see, how was your day and so forth, and see, kind of have that conversation with them and not just fix it, right? So kind of build that relationship with them already. Then also guide them through, the fix and resolution, and also train them on what I did, and then what we can do to kind of be proactive and not have that happen again.
And Jason, we are fortunate that everybody's working from a home office, but you drive from Lansing every day to come into the office and figure out what we got going on, and you may start with the delivery and be on the truck for 8 hours, going around to 16 different customers, dropping off equipment, or you may grab your toolbox, and depending on what's going on, you may be going out fixing copiers, connecting stuff. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, do you?
I don't, and that's part of the thrill. So, it's definitely different. So I don't go home, same thing.
Right.
It's always a surprise. So
it's not boring.
No. It's like a mystery egg. Those kids are into it. It's like you open it and you never know what you're gonna get. So, but I think it's what keeps me keeps that drive for me. Like, I never have the same day twice.
Yeah.
So
so it's like it's a relentless focus on the customer.
Yeah. And I think part of it too, at least for me, is the culture our office has. I mean, I don't think I could go in and day out without, working with everybody and just that camaraderie that we all have. So
yeah, it's cool. It is. It really is.
Well, you guys are a big part of that, right? You're an active everything you do, and I know, Jason, you're on the road a ton, and you're just driving all day. You're driving to and from work all day, but then you still go home. You got a family, and you're active in coaching soccer. You've been active in some plays and musicals for the kids at school, and your church group. You've been a leader there with giving back to stuff. How do you do it, dude? When do you sleep?
Weekends. That's it. No, it's family, right? So it doesn't matter if it's work or home. I mean, you put that drive in. So I don't want my kids to suffer just because I'm working. They deserve that same attention that I give anybody. So,
and then we've seen you bring them out to different company events and stuff. So a lot of good activity there.
Yeah. So they love it. So I mean, they get all the thrill out of being the center of attention. So
who was that golfer, a pro golfer last summer? Your boy got the picture with. Do you remember that?
He actually got
This is funny.
I think everybody. He had golf balls and
I think he walked away from that
gloves.
event with 7 golf balls and I want to say probably 30, 40 signatures. But I think it was I know he got a ball from Phil Mickelson.
That was it.
And then he did get one from I'm going to forget the guy's name, but he was leading after the second day. So
it was Bubba, wasn't it? I thought it was him.
No, not Bubba. No. But yeah, he had fun. Those are things that I'm grateful for because I can't always give them that. So to have the ability to go to those events and them experience it too is definitely a perk of the job, and we appreciate it as a family, and I know.
Well, I mean, we do for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. People know we're the document company for them, and we work very closely with a golf tournament that happens every year here in Detroit. And you and Chris have gone down there and you camp out in a hotel for a week just to make sure nothing goes wrong there. And because equipment works and you guys got in great shape, there's a lot of idle time, so you spend a lot of time with them. But they've commented too that what a blessing you guys are to their event and the success that they have, and we're grateful for that partnership. So it's fun to see your kids come down and be a part of that, just like you guys are. And then Tim's always running back and forth. And heck, last year they had the big power storms and the rain. Yep. And between Chris, you, and Tim, you guys had them back up in line and printing and work around with their Wi-Fi that was down, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was definitely a fun experience.
It was unpaid consulting, because we got the whole.
But that's why they love you down there, because you back to that Swiss Army knife, right? You can adapt, pivot, get to a point, and get them back up and running, and you guys do a great job. And I'm grateful, Tim. We tease you in the office all the time, but I mean, literally, it seems like every other day we're like, oh, Tim's mom's written us another letter, but we get a compliment from you that, hey, Timmy went above and beyond. Timmy went above and beyond, and Jason, you're the same way there. So thank you.
You can't average 4.9 out of 5 over years of time.
No. Thank you both for what you do, and I appreciate your patience, your willingness to grow with us and make us better, and look at this as your company, versus just, hey, I got a job, and we couldn't be where we are without you. So thank you very much, and we love you guys. Great.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we're not going to sign off with the bourbon because you guys do have to work. So I don't want our PCIA insurance friends there to cancel our policy. So we got to go with water. But thanks, guys, and we'll have one after hours. Okay.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.